Hello friends, Bigstupidgrin here, and we are back with some fan-made custom scenarios finally. Hope to be making these on a more regular basis than I have been. We did try this earlier with a different investigator. It didn't go well, and uploading the video went even worse. So let's forget that ever happened, and take a look at who we're playing with today. Today we're speedrunning with Ursula Downs. She, if you haven't seen her, she's one of the newest Seekers from the Forgotten Age. Stat line of 3, 4, 1, 4, 1 being fighting. And her ability is reaction after you move to a location, take an investigate action, which is why I have that token on her. Her Elder Sign is +1, and you can move to a connecting location if you want. So she's all about speed and, like most investigators, action compression, but her free action is investigate, which is one of the most powerful, important actions in the game. So she is one of the favorites as far as Seekers go. And almost on the same level as pre-taboo, well, probably on the level or above the level of pre-taboo list Rex Murphy. Here's the deck. It's fairly bog standard. Usually when I run a Seeker, I run Strange Solution or some other kind of do something and then level it up later card. But today I decided not to do that. We'll probably be buying a bow or two down the line for fighting, but it's pretty generic deck in my opinion. Maybe art student instead of Mr. Rook is the main decision. I'm in love with Mr. Rook. I think he is a fantastic ally. But anyway, let's go ahead and spawn the deck, see what our basic weakness is. I'm trying to use more fixed camera positions. Let me know if you like that more than not. Usually I just walk around with the WASD cards. As you can see, we drew Chronophobia on the fly. Chronophobia is at the end of your turn, take a direct horror, and 2 actions to discard. So, not too bad at all. Ursula does have 7 and 7, so she is well equipped to deal with horror or damage that she happens to come up against. Let's go ahead and take a look at the story and then get ready to get started. Rotham Back Country. All is not well in upstate New York. Nestled deep in the forest, blanketing the slopes of the Adirondacks, the small township of Rotham provides a tiny, bright dot of civilization in the dark wilderness. Primarily focused on lumber, the citizens of Rotham have lived a peaceful existence. But now they face a horror beyond their abilities. Can you help? And then this scenario introduces a keyword immobile. Immobile enemy cannot be moved from its starting location. If the investigator moves away who's engaged, the immobile enemy will remain in its location. Immobile enemies are immune to any card effect that would move it. And even if the enemy had Hunter, it will still not move. And then fires burn in Rotham. As you enjoy your bagel on a cool morning, a nervous man sits down across from you at your booth. I hear you can help folks, those with problems that others might not understand. You nod but resist being drawn into the conversation. My name is Edward Ekholm. I live upstate in the North Country, in a town called Rotham. It used to be such a peaceful place, but now something or someone is starting fires. Everywhere. It's not normal. The police have cut the town off and won't let anyone in or out. I managed to escape before they closed off the road. The people, they can't get out, and my family is in there. Can you help get my family out? This man seems quite sincere and certainly upset. Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to ride up to the small town and just take a look around. Surely there's a good explanation, right? Then the only setup we need to do is randomize these two Rotham Woods locations on the eastern and western side of the board. We'll still be using all the locations, just we don't know in what position they are. Taking a look at the Act deck and the Agenda deck. Agenda 1A, all roads blocked. You have heard rumors that the Rotham Sheriff will not let anyone into the town. It seems that those rumors were true. Rotham deputies patrol the countryside, keeping an eye out for those who might wish to slip by the perimeter. All Rotham officer enemies gain the keyword aloof. In our act, skirt the perimeter. You can see that it won't be as simple as driving down Main Street. You will need to get familiar with the surrounding area first to find the best way into Rotham. You've always believed that your decisions were only as good as your grasp of the situation. Here, in this wilderness, you don't quite have a handle on which way is most advantageous yet. That is something that can be remedied. And we have a whopping 6 clues per investigator to move on, and a threshold of 8. So probably not going to flip the act deck before the agenda deck goes off, but we'll see. Then with our scenario card on easy standard, our skull is -1, move each Rotham deputy enemy 1 location toward the nearest investigator. Cultist is -X, X is the total number of Rotham officer enemies at your location plus each adjacent location. And the rock is -2, any Rotham deputy enemy at your location which is not currently engaged immediately engages an investigator. Our token pull isn't too bad. We have 2 -1s, 2 -2s, the rock, 1 rock, 2 skulls, 1 cultist, 3, and a 4. So, pretty standard, I would assume. Let's go ahead and shuffle up our deck and draw. If I forget to use the fixed camera angles like I just did, I apologize, I'm getting used to it. So we have Milan, manual dexterity, shortcut, fieldwork, art student. Really good opening hand. I think I'm going to pitch manual dexterity and art student since we have our main squeeze there, Dr. Milan. And we'll draw 2 more cards. Acquiring mind and no stone unturned. Pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to play Milan. And then I'm going to take a resource and just play fieldwork. So just getting set up. Next turn we can shortcut into a free investigate action or something like that. So that's our turn. Go ahead and draw a card. Flashlight, gain a resource. Go ahead and give us some doom and see how bad this encounter deck is. And we drew an enemy, Crazed Man. He is a 4, 3, and 2. When Crazed Man would deal damage, test agility 2. If successful, reduce damage by the amount you succeed by to a minimum of 0. And this guy has a victory point and does 2 damage and 2 horror. So we're going to be running away from that guy. He's not a hunter, but since we have him in a central location, it's kind of hard to get around him, unfortunately. But we can evade and move. That shouldn't be too hard. We're +2 to evade. I'm gonna be right back. Sorry about that, I had to cough. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and evade him. We're +2. And -2 means we succeed. Go ahead and drag him up to the location area. And then I'm going to go ahead and just want a shortcut or not. Yeah, might as well. Free action is always good. And we have landed on Highway 49 West. Forest is more dense here, and there are fewer signs of civilization. The trees press up against the road as if to ward off any travelers. Has 1 clue and a shroud of 3. It's not too bad. And I will take my free Ursula action to investigate and use fieldwork. So Ursula with fieldwork and Dr. Milan is a 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. And we drew a -2, so good enough. Grab the clue, and then we are using taboo rules, so Milan here only activates once a turn. Forget if you exhaust him, but I'm going to exhaust him so I know. And then we'll keep moving. All the way up to Rotham Woods West. Ruined Homestead. Shroud of 4, 2 clues per investigator. You attempt to steel yourself to enter the house. Test willpower 3. If you fail, take a horror. If successful, make an investigate check at -2 shroud. Interesting. That was our second move. Has 2 clues. I could use my inquiring mind to take this willpower test at +2. Or we could just wait and investigate that normally. I think we'll do that conventionally, because we have more investigate than willpower anyway, so we might as well. We have just enough resources to play a flashlight. So that'll be our turn. We'll draw another inquiring mind. Very good. And a doom. See what our next card is. Mysterious Symbology. Test it. Willpower 3 if you fail, take 2 horror. We could use Inquiring Mind to be 2 up on this. No, 3 up on this if we wanted to. Is that something we want to do? Probably. It would be nice to stay healthy. I mean, we could put a horror on Milan and a horror on ourselves. That's not too bad. Is there anything that really hurts? None of the bad location or the bad tokens hurt us if we fail, which is a consideration for me, even though it's pretty low odds of that happening. So I think I'm just going to eat the test. Yeah. So we're even. And -1 means 1 horror for us, 1 horror for Milan. No big deal. Let's go ahead and investigate. Something I'm trying is to copy paste the location that we're in to the player area to make it easier to take a look at it. So we're a 4, 5 against 2. Okay, we got that one. We get one of the clues. And we get a resource from Milan. Okay, and we'll do the same thing. -2, we get the other clue. And then this is a victory point location, so I'll just copy paste it onto the victory display. And now we have 3 clues, so we're halfway there. And we'll go ahead and move. We could play No Stone Unturned. Not sure what we'd be looking for, although that is a good card. I feel with Ursula, it's almost you're very tempted to speed run the scenario, go as fast as you can, build as much free tempo, because Ursula's one of the best at tempo. action advantage, whatever you want to call it. So instead of playing no stone on turn, we're just going to move, I think. Would be cool to draw like Hawkeye folding camera, but I don't know. We'll just do it that way. So upkeep, working nudge. Then we'll add a Doom, grab a card. Spout of Flame. If I can talk. Place a spout of flame in your threat area. Force, take damage each time you take an action. This can be a real killer. Test Intellect 3. If successful, discard this card. If failed, place a resource token on this card from the pool. You get +1 Intellect to this test for each resource token on this card. If there are 3 resources on Spout of Flame, discard it. So we can either get that test correct, or we can fail 3 times. Both will get rid of that. We're a 5 against 3. That's pretty good. The real killer about this is that testing takes damage. So imagine if I had like Daisy or somebody with 5 health that has to do this. It's very punishing. So it will be +2, 4 or 5 against 3. -4, so we fail that. We take a damage. Put a resource on Spout of Flame. I'm going to do the same thing. Cultists means we win that. I'll take another damage. And then we can finally discard that. Pretty gnarly card. So Ursula's going to move to the other Rotham Woods West location as her final action. Rotham Woods West Gravel Pits. 2 clues, Shroud of 3. After you enter this location, test Fight 3. Hooray. For every point you fail by, take a damage. So we're Fight of 1. We could be a Fight of 3 with field work. But I would rather use field work on investigating. I guess we have a flashlight. We're already at a pretty high intellect, so we're already investigating at a +2 before we use flashlight. And +2 is really, really good in this scenario at the moment. So, well, we could try to mitigate the location then. I'll use field work. I'll make us even. And I think I'm going to commit Inquiring Mind to be +3 against this test. Okay, -1 means we don't take any damage. So that's good. And we get a free investigate action since we're Ursula. Can't use flashlight, but we're still 5 against 3. And we got that. And we get some extra resources from Milan. So, pretty successful so far. Draw a card, take a resource. Ooh, we got our weakness, Call of the Unknown. So, we got to put it in our threat area at the beginning of our turn. Choose a location other than your location. When your turn ends, if you did not successfully investigate the chosen location this turn, take 2 horror and shuffle Call of the Unknown back in your deck. That is pretty gosh darn punishing, but we're not going to get to a location where we can take a clue. So I'm going to take 2 horror. Oh well. I think we got a resource. Amidst all of the talking. Let's go to the agenda. So we're at 4 Doom out of 8. And we'll draw another Crazed Man. It's unfortunate. Okay, let's go ahead and juke this guy. We are +2. And we'll just take that test as it is. Okay, skull means we win. We shall exhaust that guy. Fortunately, he's in a corner of the map that I hope I will never have to go back into. Then we'll move east to the highway location. For Call in the Unknown, I'll choose this highway at 49 east, but we're not going to get there, so it doesn't matter. It's going to go off. I'm going to play No Stone Unturned. There's not really a point in ending my turn here at the crossroads, since we have another crazed man right there, so we'd rather not deal with that. So we'll play No Stone Unturned. We get to look at the top 6 cards. What will we like? Not Chronophobia. I don't need resources, so I don't need emergency cash. I guess flashlight. Yeah, flashlight over No Stone Unturned or Art Student. Emergency cash we don't need, so we won't get that. Now I'm trying to narrate these so that people can listen to this, even if they're not watching. They can kind of know what's going on. So let me know if you can do that. Let me know if you even care about that. But it's something I like to do because I like to listen to these Let's Play episodes of Arkham. So we didn't satisfy Call of the Unknown, so we have to take 2 horror and shuffle it back into our deck. So we're at 2 damage and 3 horror. So we've got an upkeep phase. Oh, I forgot to totally forgot to investigate that location again. Whoops. Well, so I would have still evaded that guy. Still play No Stone Unturned. And then we have 1 action left to do investigation. Okay, I think that's fine. I didn't draw for upkeep or anything like that. I could play Working a Hunch to get out of there. I think I will actually. So let's spend our other resources, get Working a Hunch to get that last clue. And this goes into the victory pile. So we got 2 victory points already. Then our last action will move. So pretty much the same thing happened. Still getting used to putting locations into the threat area and using that to let me know if we need to investigate or not. Discover clue, successfully investigate. Okay, so Working a Hunch does not set off Dr. Milan. That would be ridiculous. Go and draw Deduction, grab a resource, add a Doom. Let's see our encounter card. Tracking Dogs, Revelation Test, Agility 3. If failed, move the nearest Rotham Deputy 1 location closer to you. If there are no Rotham deputies in play, this card gains Surge. Okay, so we still need to do the test, and that's important because Ursula could grab an Elder Sign, which she just did. That's funny. So we get to move here to the crossroads, and this crazed man can go back on us. But our next counter card is the Rotham Deputy. While Rotham Deputy is ready at this location, that location gains +1 Shroud. This stacks with other Rotham Deputy modifiers. If defeated in combat, record in your campaign log that the investigators have killed a Rotham officer. So if I remember correctly, this guy's currently aloof. So we don't have to fight him yet, but he will be there. Doesn't have a hunter, but a few of those token effects will move them. So there's a turn. We need to evade this guy. The crazed man. We're +2. Okay, -2. We win that. Second action, we will move to Highway 49 East. It looks like it has 1 clue on it. Yep. Yep, 2 shroud, 1 clue. Between the gaps in the trees, you can see glimpses of green pastures and old barns. We can go ahead and field work this. Not sure if I want to field work this one. Well, I guess we're only going to have 1 investigation this turn, so I guess we can. Field work. Ursula's a 5, 6, 7 against 2. Okay, we got that one, but we got to move the deputy enemy 1 location towards the investigator. Which means this guy goes on, moves over here, but we have 6 clues, so we can move on. I don't know if it's better or not to, this is a free action by the way. I might want to move somewhere that doesn't have a deputy, although it's the agenda that's going to keep them aloof, I think. So maybe we flip over the act deck now and see what we get. Then we have an action to react to that. Alright, your determination to learn more about the area surrounding Arkham has paid off. You've spotted the sheriff blocking the road into the town. You also discovered information which indicates that, on occasion, some of those who live further away from Arkham somehow make their way back and forth through the thick trees. Place the dense forest and blocked road locations into play. Place Sheriff Harper at the blocked road. So, are they set aside? Yes, they are. Alright, dense forest is connected to probably over here. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe it's connected to blocked road. Blocked road is connected to Highway 49 East here. And dense forest, where are you located? You have no connecting locations. That is weird. Dense forest and block road locations into play. The fun you get when you play these blind. I'm looking for... Oh, looking for the... There it is. It's connected to Highway 49 West. Okay, I was being dense there for a second. Alright, and then Sheriff here goes to the blocked road. Sheriff Harper. Spawn. Arkham Jailhouse, right? Okay. Maybe he does that later. He's immobile. Forced will engage with Sheriff Harper. You may not take the move action. If defeated in combat, record in your campaign log that the investigators have killed a Arkham officer. Sheriff Harper is grim and all business. Victory point. Nothing's at the dense forest yet. Let's read our next Act 2A, Slip the Net. Now that you are more familiar with the countryside, it's clear that there are only 2 viable ways into Arkham. You can get past Sheriff Harper, who's blocking Rotham's Creek Road, the road that leads into town. Or you can find a path through the dense forest surrounding the town. From your explorations, you're sure there's a path there somewhere. You just have to find it first. Objective: you have passed the block road, or you have found a path through the dense forest. So, Harper is going to be aloof for 3 turns, or 3 more Mythos phases, unless we're playing with Ancient Evils, which I have not looked. We're closer to Block Road anyway, so we're going to give that a try. Blocked Road. Choose one. Test Intellect 4. Parlay, you tried to bluff your way past. Or Test Agility 4. You attempt to sneak past. If either test fails, place one doom in the current agenda. If either test is successful, complete objective you have passed Blocked Road. And if Sheriff Harper is defeated, we also complete the objective you have passed the Blocked Road. Okay, so we got a little bit of time. It's too bad I forgot to wait for field work to go on, but that's my inexperience with playing Ursula. Maybe I should have stayed at Highway 49 East and took a passive turn, maybe a flashlight or a drawn card, something, or a resource or a drawn card or something. So I am learning. Going into upkeep, we get another no stone unturned. We're back up to 2 resources. We will add a doom. We are at 6 out of 8. Draw another mysterious symbology. Test willpower 3 if you fail. Take 2 horror. Fortunately, we do not have any help with. There's no clues on Blocked Road, so I can't play Inquiring Mind against this. I could commit No Stone Unturned for Wilds. That would make us +1. But we would fail to the skull. No, we would be okay against the skull. We would fail against the cultist. Still, I think I'll do it. +1. And we get a +1 ourselves, so no damage there. So, we need to parlay either Intellect 4 or Agility 4. I'm actually pretty good at both of those things. But we are currently a little bit better at Intellect, thanks to Milan Christopher. So we're +1 for that. And I think I will just take the test a couple times instead of committing flashlight or deduction to it. We've got a little bit of time, but if we do fail, we place doom on the agenda, which is bad. We still have 2 copies of Perception, which I did remember to include. Or we could get our weakness. Be a big bummer. Let's take it at +1, I think. Okay, skull is -1. Move each Rotham deputy enemy one location towards the nearest investigator. So, deputy is going to join us here at the Block Road, but we did pass our test. So we get to look at the next act deck. Oh, interesting. Into Rotham Township. You have successfully found a way into Rotham. Now it's time to get down to business and find out what all the secrecy is about. What could be so bad as to require barricading an entire town? You have passed the Blocked Road and Sheriff Harper was defeated, is R2. If you have passed the Blocked Road and Sheriff Harper is still alive, is R3, that's what we're getting. And if you have found a path through the dense forest, you get R4. Let's go ahead and read R3. You quickly move down the road, having successfully avoided conflict with the stern sheriff. Around the first curve in the road, you spot what you assume is the sheriff's motorcycle just off the road. Looking around, it occurs to you that some additional mobility could be a great benefit. You push it for a bit until you're sure you won't be hurt, then hop on and speed towards Rotham. In your campaign log, record that the investigators passed the blocked road. You've killed a Rotham officer. Record that you are wanted by the Rotham Sheriff Department. Each investigator earns 1 less experience. Each investigator earns experience equal to Victory X. Value of each card in the Victory display. Each investigator also earns 3 bonus experience from learning the ways of the back country. So we just got 2 XP, well, 2 victory points plus 3 XP. We will have 5 points to play around with. We weren't really equipped to kill the 2 crazed men, so we weren't going to get the victory points there, nor were we going to deal with Sheriff Harper. That was out of the cards, but that's a fairly successful, and I say a very successful first scenario. Yeah, that's the power of Ursula. She can just run through a scenario a lot faster than the scenario is designed for everybody else. She's able to aid that with her high agility, and we got Milan out, which really helped. And of course, Fieldwork might as well be her signature card anyway. So, until next time, I'm Bigstupidgrin. Hope you enjoyed your time here, and until next time, have a good one.